to determine how much taxes will be assessed. The assessed value of the property on Linden Avenue is $90,000. Now, I brought with me the tax stuff for the property. You can go online and do this. I did it. And so this property on Linden, total assessed value, assessment total $90,000. Taxes for 2015, $6,733.80. This property sold in January of last year for $175,000. I want you to get this. This property on 1st Street, assessed value $90,000.
Sam, that's right.
$90,000.
Yeah.
$90,000. This property sold in August of 2012 for $530,000. This person is a law-abiding, loving citizen of Jersey City who just happens to pay 3 times more taxes than this loving, law-abiding citizen. I'm ashamed. This is not political. This is unfair.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
It's an Abbott district. We have the different compilations. It's hard. It's complex. It is. I found more sales on my own in a computer. I went to Jersey City's tax assessor's office online, and they told me to go to the county, found some sales, and guess what? It seems like people in one part of the city
Yes, sir.
pay more
All right.
than the people in the
Yes, sir.
other side of the city. I'm ashamed. I want to tell you this. They didn't want me to say this. But this is an issue of social justice. You know what? They talked about Trenton, and I don't have no friends in Trenton. But this isn't a political issue. This isn't about politicians fighting. This is about people who have to decide whether they can afford to stay in their home.
Amen. Amen.
So it's about fairness.
That's right.
But they're going to tell you it's about stuff you can't understand. You got 2 problems, you can't understand that? Now, we could find a whole lot more. I never say, well, these are anomalies. These are not anomalies. All over the city, we got one side of the city that is overtaxed. And we got another side of the city that is very developed. up the rhetoric
Yes, yes.
and tell me it's about a governor,
So then you let it
not a political issue.
group, so.
It's a fairness issue.
Yes, yes.
Your taxes are going to go up. That's what they tell you. That's creating fear. All I want is a level playing field.
That's right.
To know that no matter where you live in this city,
Amen.
you're paying your fair share. Will you commit to a revaluation in Jersey City, and when will you do it?
So let me be clear that I have been on the record countless times on this, okay? And Reverend Perry and myself have a fundamental disagreement on what we believe the impact will be to you. Now, you don't have to believe me, okay? And some of you will not believe me. However, okay, I will point to two undeniable facts, okay? Fact number one, the last time the city did a reval, when I was 11 years old. You all heard that, and I have done so much research as many of you have on this topic. So I got a great deal of familiarity with what I feel and what I believe the impact is going to be. In 1988, many people throughout Jersey City lost their homes. And the reason they lost their homes was it was a similar situation on the gap of time between somebody doing a reval and not doing a reval. Now, if you don't believe me, many of you still don't believe me, and you probably won't go to the research, and that's fine. However, in between the last reval and today, there have been no less than 6 mayors. Started Jerry Healy from the Heights, Glenn Cunningham from the south side of the city,
Mr. Mayor,
Brett Schindler.
Mr. Mayor,
It's important.
You've done that before. We'll give you 3 minutes to respond after you answer the
I'm
question.
within my 2:30. I see the 2:30 right there.
Okay, go ahead.
They have all come to a same conclusion, that 30 years that he referenced, that it hasn't been done. Now, do you think all those individuals have some conspiracy to suppress a certain community? The answer is no, obviously. If you believe that from Mayor Healy to Mayor Cunningham to Mayor Smith to Mayor Schindler to Mayor McCann, all were in on the conspiracy, I think we are in a very different place as far as what I believe and you believe public service is about. My belief is ultimately that I need to make sure that any reval is done responsibly and fairly, because the impact can be very great. I certainly recognize the discrepancies that exist, and I certainly recognize the discrepancies within the law that doesn't protect certain people. So, we are fighting for money back that was ill-spent, first and foremost. Then we will have money to pursue a reval and advocate for state changes on the law that protects people. Those are what's important to me, okay? And at the same time, balancing a budget year in and year out. I have a minute left here, I have done enough research on this and read enough articles from 1988. I've spoken to enough people from Patterson who just went through this, and Newark who just went through this, as well as Hoboken who just went through this. And if I understand what I read and who I speak to the same way you do on the potential impact of people losing their home, people in this room, people downtown, people throughout, because of changes, it's not a risk I am willing to take in this situation and say, yes, I will do this tomorrow, because I view that as a very grave concern. With my last 30 seconds, I will tell you that I believe this to the point that every night I think about it when I go to sleep because I know this is unfair. It is a truth. The last, this is your leaders up here who have the pastors, the religious leaders, would tell you how much we've spoken the last couple days and how passionate I've been about it. For the reason that if it's not done fairly, the same thing from 1988 will happen. And that is not a risk that I am willing to take.
You
Just
guarantee
blanket
doing
statement.
it fair.
Mr. Mayor.
You want you
Thank you.
Listen, no, don't say that. I want to say this. That you have been elected the mayor, and what we want from you is strong leadership.
and
This is an issue that demands leadership. I know it was inherited, but we're saying that we want you to lead as the mayor of the entire city. Will you support a revaluation of taxes in Jersey City, and when will you do it?
Okay. The process was started, this is important, the process was started.
Yes or no, Mr. Mayor?
The process was started when I took office, as you know, and I canceled it. I could have easily done the easy approach and let it go and potentially have the impact that it was. The process was already started. I would never have been blamed for it. However, I did believe, as I do believe today, that people in this room would lose their homes. I believe that. You could disagree.
People are losing
But they are
homes
losing
now,
homes
Mr.
now.
Mayor.
People are moving
People are
out.
leaving the city now, Mr. Mayor. There's a crisis in the city today, Mr. Mayor. Will you answer the question today? Will you support a revaluation of taxes in Jersey City, and when will you do it? Please.
I have been very clear. We will pursue money that was ill-spent. When that money is retrieved, I am telling you. You asked for an answer, and I'm telling you.
The court, Mr. Mayor, the court is about, it should be ruling within the next week or so on that issue. Once the court decides, will you support the revaluation?
We will go through every remedy to pursue our money, okay? That is your money.
Yes or no?
Reverend Perry, I answered you very clearly. No, we didn't.
So is that a yes or a no, so I can tell the people?
Yeah, I will pursue it only after we pursue every remedy to retrieve dollars that we will spend. First, then we will advocate for changes at the state law that are important, and then we will pursue a
If you cannot retrieve money that is lost, will you support a revaluation?
My belief is that the courts will find that our position is accurate. That is my belief. That is why we are going through this process. So my belief is today that we will pursue that dollars, and that's where we are. And I feel like I'm acting responsibly and fairly, and when the facts are out there, I believe the courts will find a sign on our side.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We're going to continue to educate people on this issue. We're not going to go away. We're going to continue to talk about it. We thank you for coming, and we thank you for your answer, which is a non-answer.